Welcome back, guys. I have a lot to say. I have a lot on my mind. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been avoiding you guys. I've been like sort of retracting into myself because I have a lot on my mind. I'm thinking about so much. It's not even funny. Like, as the renovation draws, like the interior draws closer to being done, I'm sitting here and I'm hit with the reality of the decision I made. I bought a camper and I'm going to embark on this journey, whatever that's going to look like in the middle of a pandemic. To talk reality, I still have no job. I have no steady form of income. I have no way to even support myself in this. And here I am still trying to make this a reality, and I'm sitting here like, how do I say this? I'm thinking about like my morality, like my life. I don't know. How can I explain to you the feeling of like, I know it's a really touchy subject, like thinking about the afterlife and thinking about like what happens after this. And that's not what I'm thinking about. What I'm thinking about is just like, I don't know when that's going to happen. And because I don't know when that's going to happen, I guess I sort of like, I've been thinking about it. And I've just been thinking about like how much more life I have to live. And I'm so scared of that being taken away from me for some reason. I don't know how to explain to you that you have to be careful going out into the world. Me being who I am, realistically, and you think about your morality, you think about every moment and what that means. And I sit here and I'm like, I'm not ready to go. I'm not ready to go. I have so many firsts to still experience. I have so many places that I want to see. I have so many things I want to experience. I have so many goals I want to achieve. And I'm sitting here feeling like, honestly, what I'm afraid of is that I'm still faking it, honestly. I'm still faking it. I feel numb at times. I think I replaced one situation, the abusive situation, everything that I was going through. I made that about that, and now I focused all my energy into this camper. And as the camper's drawing near to completion, I'm thinking about like actuality and how and what this all means. And just like I think about it and I'm like, realistically, how are you going to get your medications on the road, Michelle? You're going to have to find states that have Planned Parenthoods that offer those services. How does that even look like? How do you make an appointment during the pandemic? How are you going to get gas? How are you going to get a job? Where are you going to stay? I mean, let's not even talk about how realistically it's looking like my truck cannot haul this. So now I'm like, what am I going to do? But I keep pushing forward and I'm like, I'm living moment to moment and I'm going on autopilot and I want to feel like, I don't know how to explain to you that I'm present, I'm here, and I'm sharing my truth, but I feel like I can't connect to it because I don't feel like I'm living. I still feel numb, and I feel like that is something I have to overcome, and I want to overcome this feeling. I want to make that transition from feeling like I'm existing in a world to actually living in it. Actually feeling present in the moment. Actually feeling like I can make it to the other side. Actually feeling like love is possible for me. Actually feeling like I can make my family and my mother proud. As I get older, as I think about this, I think about just like the legacy, my bloodline. And I know we don't think about it. We don't do a strong emphasis on culture, but growing up with a Caribbean Latin mom, she was a very proud woman. And I think about that, the bloodline, and just how can I honor her? The fact that I know her recipes and I know how to cook, that's something that I'm proud to say, that I can do that. I can make those dishes. I can make mollejas en guineo. I can make arroz con gandules. I can make sofrito. I can make pateles. I can make acapurias. I can make all of that, baby. All of that. Pernil. All of that, baby. All of that I can make. And that's because of my mother. My beans are famous. Ask anybody who truly knows me that I've cooked for them. They all have a dish that I like, that they like. But all of them talk about my beans. One of my friends, she likes my oxtails with coconut rice and peas. And wow, she always talks about those oxtails. So the fact that I have that in me is a way that I carry that. But it's like, I guess talking about my relationship with my family is it's a touchy subject, because it's one of those relationships where you're the butt of the joke. So you put up with as much as you can take, and then when you can't take no more, you push away. So, I sit here and I think about understanding and what that truly means. And as much as I sit in front of this camera and I want you guys to understand me, understanding someone means just that, understanding someone. And you can only do your best. And as much as I want my mother to understand me, as much as I want my family to understand me, I also have to understand them. I can't think about how my mother grew up and how my family grew up, because I didn't grow up there. I've never even been there. It's a goal of mine to go back to where, my family is from, So I don't know how it was to them, My mother's only experience with American culture was the show I Love Lucy. And I asked my mother one time, I was like, she saw I Love Lucy on the TV in black and white. And she was like, I used to watch that over there in my country in black and white on a little TV. So her exposure was limited to her experience. And as much as I want my mother to understand my experience, I am completely something different that she doesn't know about. My existence and who I am as a person is something that she doesn't know about. The only thing she knows about is that it's a sin. And that's what she was raised, and that's how she was told. And my mother is a product of her experience and her environment. And as much as I want my mother to understand me, I also have to understand my mother. So, the fact that my mother gave me life, I have to respect that. She carried me. She birthed me. That's just the truth. And I deal with my limitations. I, make my calls once in a couple of months and, call and check in, and, we talk briefly. And when conversations get to uncomfortables, we say our goodbyes, and that's just what it is. My mother's very traditional, so the fact that I've moved around a lot, she doesn't understand that. It's, you're supposed to be settled, you're supposed to have a family, you're supposed to have this, you're supposed to have that, and, you're pa' aquí, pa' allá, you're so unstable. You don't know what you want in life, and you need to figure it out. And I'm like, I don't know, how do I explain to you? I think about things traditionally that people take for granted. I'm like, am I ever realistically going to have a relationship that I can bring home to meet my family? How do I explain? First of all, these are things that you think about, but I think about these moments. I think about these moments that I have yet to experience, that I want to experience, that I want to start to feel like I'm not just existing in this space. I want to feel like I'm living. I want to meet somebody, be a partner, learn to grow with that person, and say, okay, look, This is the relationship with my family, and I accept them. I meet them at their limitations, and when things get uncomfortable, I just pull away. And it's unfortunate, but that's just what it is. I sometimes feel like I have to be, if my existence, I don't know what my existence means here. I don't know what my existence means here. I don't know how long I have, honestly, and I worry about that because I want to feel like I'm living. I want to actually feel that. But I feel like while I'm here, I might as well put all my time and energy into being the crusader for breaking generational curses. You know, someone told me a joke and they try to break me down and they said, oh, you think you're the Joan of Arc of trans women? That you're going to be the one that's going to break boundaries and you're going to like live the happily ever after in the fairy tale? Where he was like, let me tell you something. That's not a part of your life. That's not what's going to happen for you. So good luck. Well, you know what's something? You want to know something? Well, maybe it's time that I take that and I use that to fuel me, and I actually do become the crusader to break generational curses of dysfunction and miseducation. Maybe sharing my experience here can somewhat impact a conversation, or maybe like a second thought of, wow, I never thought about a person like that. So maybe let me pay attention so I can learn her perspective. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know the answer to anything. I don't have a guide on how to live life, but I'm just telling you what I'm thinking about and how I'm dealing with it. And I'm just sitting here calculating everything. And I'm like, how am I realistically going to make this dream happen? How can I make this dream happen? What does life mean? I don't know, guys. Am I the only one there that feels this way, that's thinking about these things? You know? How do I exist in a world where I have to worry about everything? Where I have to look behind my shoulders? You know, honestly, I feel embarrassed. You know, I'm like, maybe I should have did my hair. Maybe I should have put on some makeup. Maybe I don't look feminine enough. Because those were things that I got told before. Like, oh, you need to put more effort. You have a very strong face, so you got to make sure you know, overcompensate for those features and make sure you look feminine. And I sit here and I'm like, I don't, you know, like, I'm starting to feel like, what do I look like? What am I supposed to look like? I don't know what that means. I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to look like. You ever thought about that? You know, we're consumed with imagery of other people, and we don't realize it, but we tend to compare ourselves. So it's like our image of what we are supposed to look like becomes so distorted that we don't really know what we're supposed to look like because we've never really explored that. And now I'm sitting here with myself and saying, okay, Michelle, what would you look like with no makeup? What would you look like just fresh, sweaty, tired? What would you look like wild hair crazy? What would you look like with your breasts hanging like saggy? What would you look like, honestly? And can you accept that? Because if you want somebody else to accept that, can you accept that? What does that mean to you? How do you want to look? And what does that mean to you? And what does that journey look like for you? What does this all mean? What does this all mean? These are the thoughts that keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I'm just like, am I the only one that's going through this? I know I keep saying that, but am I the only one that's going through these thoughts, that's thinking about life and how finite it is and how limited time we have and we realistically don't know? In comparisons of years, you know, we think about like hundreds, thousands, millions. We only get to live in a very small bracket. What does that time mean here? That's what I'm thinking about. How am I going to make this dream come true? I stay here and I'm like, okay, girl, how many times are you going to cry about it? How many times am I going to cry about it? I don't know. I want to be able to make it to the top, and I don't know. Make my mother and my father proud. They could say, okay, girl, you didn't do it the conventional way. You didn't do it the way that we would have said you should do it, but you got the results. I feel so alone. And sometimes you have these moments where you're like, I wish I had like my mother here and I could say, Mommy, please hold my hand. What am I feeling? Is something wrong with me? Why am I single? Why can't I find anybody? What's going on? Why can't I find real love? What does this all mean? How is my life supposed to look, you know? Or sometimes I wish that I could just lay my head on my dad's shoulder and, you know, he'd tell me that I'm perfect. I'm his little princess, and any man who doesn't realize how special I am is just not worth it. You know, it's those moments you think about and I don't get to have it. I'm here alone. I'm here alone. And I'm left with all these thoughts of thinking about what this all means and what my life is going to look like. And if I leave this earth, what am I leaving behind? Am I even going to be claimed? What does it even mean? I sit here and I'm like, why can't they just get to know me? I'm not a bad person. I sit here and I think every night how I can be a better person, how I can leave little nuggets of love, you know, little nuggets of little hearts everywhere around the world. Maybe like I can impact some sort of change. Maybe I can make my life worth living so that I can start feeling like I'm alive. Maybe I can break free from this cage that I feel trapped in and I can thrive and fly free. Maybe my life will soon be surrounded by so much love, I won't even know what to do. I feel like I can't really talk to anybody about this because nobody really understands. They're like, why are you thinking about death, girl? Why are you thinking about all this? And I'm like, aren't you thinking about it? Aren't you thinking about what this time here on earth means to you? What fingerprint you're leaving? What you're doing? What that all means? The good, the bad, the ugly, all the choices. Sometimes I just wish I could just have a hug. Somebody to really embrace me so I could feel safe. But I gotta sit here and I gotta hold myself. When I feel like I'm gonna break into a million pieces until there's nothing left of me, I gotta sit here and hold myself. I gotta sit here and tell myself I could do it. I gotta sit here and tell myself that your life is gonna mean something and you're gonna make something of it. And yeah, you don't know what the hell you're doing, but your girl, you gonna figure it out. I gotta pick myself up. I gotta do it. And it's hard. Every single night is hard. I promise you. It's hard every single night. I'm here just sprawled out on the floor, just having, like, just broken. And then I pick myself up and I say, okay, it's over. You released it. Now it's time to move on. But it's like every single night, I'm just here. You know, people are coming out of the woodworks and they're saying such nasty things to me. You know, saying, oh, okay, this is what you're doing, making a clown of yourself, like people, and I try not, and it's not even to understand, it's not even to hear this, but then you just, you know, you feel like people just look at you like you a joke, like you a one-hit wonder. It's like, it's not even about that. I'm just trying to show the world that something is, some like real stuff, you know? Yeah, like, yeah, we could sit here and we could laugh about makeup and we could tell stories and we could have jokes, but like, what about something real? You know, I can't be the only one that feels like I'm just in the brink of breaking into a million pieces. I know I'm not the only one. I don't have the answers to what life is and how you're supposed to live it. Girl, I'm trying to figure it out myself. All I can tell you is that I am fighting to take my life from feeling like I'm just faking it to actually like living it. Breaking boundaries, being the Joan of Arc, being the crusader. Breaking that threshold and achieving my dreams. I love you guys for watching. I promise you, I feel 10 times better. You know that I've been withholding this back from you guys. I didn't want to talk about this. And now that I've let it go, I feel so much better. You know, I feel like this is like a real relationship. Like, I can't lie to you guys. It just eats me up inside when I feel like I'm holding things back from you. And now that I've released it, I feel so much better. And I'm going to post this. And, you know, I hope you guys really see what I'm doing here. I'm trying to show you the real about me. Maybe you guys can relate. I love you guys for watching. I'm going to figure out the rest of my night. I'm going to try to meditate, which is so hard. I be having so much in my head. I be trying to sit here and meditate. You know what? I just need like I need somebody to just realign my back. I need like a back roller, something to just stretch out my back and just really, really relax and just, maybe like a massage or somebody to just crack my neck. I don't even know, but I need to just like relax, man. I love you guys for watching. I'm going to decompress. I am going to de-stress. I'm going to write. I'm going to write because writing is so therapeutic for me. And I'm going to edit this video and post it. So I love you guys for watching. Oh, let me smile. I swear I'm perfectly happy. I am. I'm perfectly happy. I'm just ready to figure it all out. Till next time.